Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Halal in Travel Global Summit 2026 section. I am Danis, I will be the moderator for this session. So, Niche to Normal is about whether the events industry, the venues, the organizers, the convention bureau is designing for the room that is actually in front of them or the room they imagined 10 years ago. I'm joined today by two people who are building the infrastructure that makes Muslim professional life work. The first is Mamadou Ndiaye, who is the co-founder and CEO of Wasabih, the leading professional networking platform for the global halal economy. If LinkedIn decided to focus entirely on the industry that serves 2.2 billion people, it would look something like what Mamadou has built. He has spent years watching how Muslim professionals connect, do business, and navigate spaces that were not designed with them in mind. And he has built something to change that. So welcome to the session, Mamadou. The second is Abubakar Sheriff, founder and CEO of Qariyb, a purpose-built event platform for Muslim organizations. Abu Bakar started from a simple conversation. Generic event platforms don't reach Muslim audiences, and Muslim event organizers deserve infrastructure that actually works for them. He bootstrapped Qariyb from the ground up, and in doing so has developed a practitioner's understanding of exactly what breaks and what works when you design events for Muslim communities. Between them, they are bringing a macro view of the halal economy and a ground level view of event infrastructure. That combination is exactly what this conversation needs. So let's start with something general. Muslim professionals are attending international conferences, exhibitions, and summit in growing numbers. From where you sit, is the events industry keep a pace with that shift, or is there still a significant gap between who's in the room and how the room is designed? Let's go with Mamadou first.
Bismillah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for having us. It is an honor to be here. Thank you very much for the question. It's an honor to be here. What you start with is the fundamental question. It's always a shock until now for me as a Muslim attending events, but also working inside events for the last 9 years, from Manila to Toronto, depending on where we are. And most of the time, we are very surprised that the basic needs for Muslim are not taken care of when we attend events. So designing events before the event, during the event, and after the event. So when I talk about events, for us, we talk about the business events, expos, conferences, forums, where if you go to an event, let's say in Europe, and even in Muslim countries where it's not easy to find Muslim-friendly offer. For example, I'm in Senegal. You attend an event. It's to do the most important thing for a Muslim in a day. You go to an event, to a venue. You struggle to find a proper prayer place. So Muslim, they pray 5 times a day. And at the time of prayer, you need to make sure that the sessions are designed to stop and give time for Muslim to go pray. Second, before they pray, they need to maybe go to the lavatory, to the washroom. So also you can see a queue there. And since that you don't have place for ablution, people are making ablution in the washroom, and it's make it not easy to see. And to pray, you don't have seriously a venue in some Muslim countries. The venue was designed for clearly non-Muslims, and at least they were designed not having Muslims in their thoughts. So you don't have a place to pray, a proper place in the building where this place is for Salat. So you can see people praying in the sidewalk, in corridor, and these people were just in very nice rooms having conferences. And last time I was really shocked. I saw a woman had to make her ablution in front of people, so and then pray with men like that. So yeah, that was just an example to show that some basic needs, either for non-Muslim. I don't even talk for non-Muslim countries because I'm also French, so I this is something that I lived for 15 years. So the event has really something to do because they are receiving. Let's say they are receiving the fourth 25% of the global population, maybe it's less. So, and they are receiving high-level business people. If you go to any company right now, you find high-level Muslim business people, and they cannot talk. They don't have any voice. So yeah, definitely, I think there is a big gap between the event, the design of the event, the offer they are providing to some of their attendees.
Interesting perspective. Thanks, Mamadou. I'd like to go to Abubakar. What's your thought on this?
Yeah, I would agree with pretty much everything Mamadou says. There's definitely still a huge gap where a lot of these events that are taking place globally have a high percentage of Muslim attendees, and the needs are still being reactive, right? So there's no intentional design behind this. So I think the opportunity here is to really design more thoughtful and kind of just globally aware experiences that take in consideration of this demographic.
Thank you. So we observe that the gap is real, but I want to push on the framing for a moment because the word niche here is important. So we are observing a shift from a market that was once seen as a niche because how unique they are, which now becomes mainstream already. That's why the title of this session is Niche to Normal. From your experience, Mamadou, building a global halal economic community, at what point does Muslim-friendly event design stop being a special consideration and start being simply a good event design?
Thanks a lot for the question. Yes, indeed. I would like to go back first. When we say niche to normal, in my perspective, I go to the halal economy in general, and the Muslim-friendly tourism or events in particular. So yes, the global halal economy, we talk a lot about the 2 trillion or 3 trillion USD market. Whether you are in a Muslim majority country or non-majority country like the United States or France, consumers, they're understanding more and more that this is not a niche market. So now let's talk about the tourism, the events. Yes, if you talk about the halal economy event, Muslim-friendly events, you can take example of some large events. Let me just take the example of MIHAS that I know quite well, the Malaysia International Halal Showcase, the world's largest halal trade show. Last year, it gathered 50,000 attendees, 2,000 exhibitors, coming from 100 countries. It's one of the largest events in Malaysia and maybe B2B events in the world. So this is not niche event. It's a normal event. It's a large-scale event. So it's happening in the world-leading halal economy country. So it can be an example to normalize this thing. So in this event, then you can see maybe the global standard of what would be, of course, what would be a halal economy event. So they try to apply to give to attendees what they need are the Muslim. Of course, this event is open for Muslim and non-Muslims, and it's very smooth. If you want to do your prayer, you pray. You don't see alcohol clearly in anywhere in the venue. So even the recommendation for attendees, man or woman, is to dress modest, like modest, like a modest fashion. So all the sectors of the halal economy, you can see the effort made in that event for it to respect the Muslim friendly type of event. And then now you can travel to some other places. You're going to go to Indonesia. Indonesia, you can see in another level for example, in Mihas, you can see a woman without hijab. In Indonesia, some events they don't allow a woman without hijab for those events. So now you can go to maybe to Senegal or to France. No, not France. They don't have a big business events. You can go to Canada, Toronto, go to London. So you can see some vibes. You can say if it is mostly a Muslim friendly event. But still, after the event, for example, we went to a European country. We had the Halal Expo there. After the event organizer brought the partners to a restaurant. And it was a big learning for me because it was my first time in London. So we went to the event, and after the event, we went to the restaurant. So when we entered the restaurant, I saw that there was alcohol in this restaurant. So I was surprised. So why this Muslim event organizer is bringing us to a restaurant with alcohol? So, and then I asked, okay, is this halal? He told me everything is halal. No, not everything, of course, but the meat is halal. So yeah, it was a big restaurant. So it's a normal kind of restaurant in London, but actually the meat is halal. So you see Muslim, but you see majority are non-Muslim. But actually it just goes. Everybody knows the meat is halal here. You can eat, and that's London. So they could not find. I don't know what happened, but we went there and there were alcohol there, but it was halal meat restaurant. So yes, you can eat there, but definitely as a Muslim, I would prefer to go to a restaurant where I would not see those things. And this happened from an organizer, and with the critic kind of the feedback we gave. So I believe the next time he would try to bring us in a restaurant where it is more convenient, more normal for Muslims. So that's what those example I wanted to give, maybe to be precise. Let me know if that answers your question.
Yes, thanks very much for sharing the experience with us. So we see that the market has moved. So now the question is whether the operational infrastructure has also moved with it. I believe this is Abubakar's territory. So Abubakar, Qariyb was built because generic platforms don't serve Muslim event organizers well. From a design standpoint, what are the 2 or 3 things maybe that any event needs to get it right, regardless of the scale, before it can genuinely call itself a Muslim-friendly event?
That's a very good question. I would say one of the first things would definitely have to be intentionality, right? Muslim events the design shouldn't just feel improvised or last minute or just having to make accommodations, right? And the second thing would be inclusivity, as Mahmoud was saying earlier, around this culture of alcohol. Most professional networking events today is around this culture of alcohol-centered environments, and I think there's an opportunity to create spaces that are just as high quality, but also inclusive as well of the overall attendee experience. So I would say those two things really, when it comes to design, is really just being intentional about it and also inclusive.
I see. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
So those are the fundamentals, but I want to also explore about the conversation that happens before any of that gets implemented. That is the budget conversation. So some organizers still treat Muslim-friendly design as an added cost, like the extra catering option for the halal meals, and then designated prayer space, and then adjusted scheduling to accommodate the attendees to pray. So how do you reframe that thinking, and what's the actual return when you get it right? Let's start with Abu Bakar first.
That's another very thoughtful question. And just as I was saying before around intentionality and inclusivity, I would want to move from just simply calling it accommodating for this audience to maybe just a shift from accommodation to the overall attendee experience. And I think the return on that is when you have attendees who's been thoughtfully cared for, they're more fully engaged, they're likely to return, and these things are usually just operational design decisions that, if considered at the very beginning, it makes a huge difference into the overall attendee experience.
I see. Thanks, Abu Bakar. How about from perspective from Mamadou? What do you think of this?
So yeah, so event organizers indeed. So also always my perspective is mostly expos and conferences, forums. So yes, event organizers, if you talk about expos, their biggest problem is to sell space. So space is the money. I mean, it's the goods. Now you are asking them to remove some space and put a prayer. So you are reducing what they can sell. And also they have big struggle to bring exhibitors who buy booths. So they can spend 12 months to sell space just for an event. For an event of 4 days, they can spend 12 months to organize it. And it's always chaos, actually, always. Not most of the time, but it's chaos here. So it's difficult for them to think something extra. They just want to succeed the event. So now to bring some radical change or impactful change in this, I agree with Brother Abubakar in the intentionality. Of course, they have to. Okay, I'm a Muslim and I'm really interested in designing things with my Muslim faith. So Alhamdulillah, that's my work. But not all Muslims have this to care about, and also not all events are organized by Muslims, or even the largest halal event. You don't think that the event manager are Muslims, okay? So it must have some really guidelines. So of course, from intention, we must have some conditions before the event. So these can be brought, of course, by the organizer, the one who say, I want to organize an event and my event should look like this. Also by the attendees themselves. I am an exhibitor. I'm going to an event somewhere in France. I am buying a booth, so I'm paying money. I must, and this is not what's happening. We just say I'm going to France. I just say, okay, it is France, so I just have to deal with it. No, I have to tell it. I believe the consumers, you are paying money, you can ask for it. I think the demand has to come. So they just need to know that actually people care about this. So before the event, I suggest you ask questions. Also, after the satisfaction, the survey questionnaire you get after that, respond, take the time. As a Muslim, I believe you have to take the time to respond to that and say, I would prefer to have a place to do my prayer. If you go to the airport, you can find a place to do your prayer. So why not at the venue? I'm spending the whole day and I don't live here, I'm a traveler. So at least give indication. Oh, our venue is next to a prayer place. You can go there. Like they say, our venue there is next to a cinema or whatever else. What else? So they need to have this knowledge. So and this comes back to Crescent Rating. Maybe Crescent Rating. Maybe you guys are doing it, but maybe you should have a special. You can tell me a special program for these venues to understand the halal economy. As you're having it for hotels, of course, tell them, okay, among your attendees, you have Muslims. They are decision makers. They are your clients. They need this, and it's really important, and more important. So just to make it short, I just want to go those perspective on how to make the change in this.
Very good thoughts to tackle this problem. I think from CrescentRating perspective, we are very agree with what you suggest, Mamadou. We need more and more MICE venues or event organizers to come to sit in together with us, and so that we can share what are the challenges or problems that we are trying to solve here, especially when it comes to hosting events around Muslim attendees. Thank you very much. So we are approaching the end of our session. So last question for both Mamadou and Abubakar. So if someone in this room today watching this session, be it an event organizer or a venue operator, a convention bureau, wants to start welcoming Muslim travelers attending their event, what is the first concrete thing that they should actually do? Let's go with Abubakar first.
Yes, I think it's a good question. I think Mamadou summarized it really well. I would say the first step is simply trying to understand this audience better, right? Whether it's from an attendee to the organizer, but I think it could come from the organizer perspective just by simply collecting data, right? They say know your customer. You can also know your audience, like, what are any special dietary requirements or any special accommodation. So these surveys that are sent out or questions, these are important signals that allows any event organizers to kind of curate that experience, or simply doing either basic research or the recommendation that was made to bring these operators in this industry together to share insights, to educate them. And I think from there, you could see where the friction exists and overall see where the opportunity is to make the overall attendee experience better for Muslim attendees.
Thanks so much, Abubakar. How about you, Mamadou? What's your take on this?
And I believe it's indeed the education. They need to understand indeed that it's not. It is a market. It is a market worth taking care of. So we talk about the Muslim-friendly tourism, 300 billion USD. And it's not only about the Muslim-friendly tourism; it's about also the Muslims' clients' perception about their event. So they should be aware that this is a thing. It's really important, getting more and more important for decision makers, Muslim and non-Muslim, because as you know, the leaders in the halal economy, they are not non-Muslims, and so yes, they need to be aware. There is a lot of awareness to do for these venues receiving Muslims. Also, the feedback, I believe they need to get on top of awareness, general awareness, the Muslims who are interested in for the venue to take care of their to give them offer services that take care of their values. They have to say it. So you have to take the time to give feedback, to tell them, actually, I was expecting this, I need this and this and this and that. They have to know it, because if they don't know it, they can curate it. And also, definitely, Abubakar and I, we are tech guys. So if you use our platforms, Abubakar platform is fully designed for Muslim, everything Muslim, all the way. So our platform as well, you will not see services or sectors that are not Muslim friendly, and also it's catered for Muslim friendly events. So technology can play a role in collecting data to understand. So now you can ask people questions without knowing that you are asking them questions. So collecting data is key. I absolutely agree with you, Brother Abubakar. And definitely, yes, get in people intention. You with the latest technologies, you can sense what people you could not ask them for. So I believe technologies can also help to accelerate this, because I believe without technology it might be difficult to collect this. That's what I wanted to say as a conclusion.
Thanks so much, Mamadou. Okay, so what I'm taking away from this conversation is that Muslim-friendly event design is waiting for a decision. The market has already moved, awareness are increasing everywhere across the board from both the organizer and attendees perspective, and the professionals are already in the room. So what's needed now is for the people who design and operate these events to catch up. And as we heard previously, the gap between where we are and where we need to be is not as wide as the industry sometimes pretends. So that wraps up our session today. Thank you very much to our Abubakar and Mamadou for the insightful discussions. And thank you to all of you who have joined today. Please stay tuned because there are more interesting SITGS sessions to attend. Head over to events.CrescentRating.com to see the full agenda. Goodbye and see you on other sessions.